Hello Internet, welcome back to our Plate Armor Delivery Boy, blah blah etc. series. See, we're fully healed, we're satisfied, and I think in this episode, or this series, this session is what I was gonna say. I think we're going to head to this lab. Oh, that's not the map button. Map. We're gonna head out here to this lab, not this one, not the big research center. If I remember right, these have a ton of monster density, and we're not really equipped to go there yet. I would rather hit the lab, which is the lab I'm not familiar with. I usually explore science labs, and those are very routine for me. This one is totally new to me, and I don't know how scary it is, but we do have the science ID card, and I gotta assume there's at least a turret in there we can murder for goodies. Because the main thing holding us back right now, we have armor, we have all that stuff. What we need is we need bullets. I wouldn't hate some extra guns, but mostly I want bullets. We don't have very many. And yeah, I think we're gonna fully load up our car and just leave. I don't really like this town very much, and we're gonna be clearing the lab probably for the foreseeable future, for at least a session or two. And then we'll head out and try to find ourselves a new home somewhere. Because I'm sick of this town. You should kind of be used to it. Well, unfortunately, it's one of those things you can't really get used to. It's like, you think you get used to it. You think that, like, the pain subsides and, like, you just get used to pain. But you don't. Your body uses pain as a way of telling you, like, hey, something's wrong. So, like, people like to pretend, you know, when we were teenagers, we'd be like, I don't even feel pain. And we would have these little tests of who's the manliest to avoid pain. But, like, you, like, literally can't get used to pain because pain is one of your body's only ways of telling you, like, hey, something's really wrong. So, you think you get used to it, but the stomach cramps and the other unfortunate things we don't need to talk about, those never really go away. And there's some days, man, where it's just so bad. Today's not one of those days. Today's is just a little bit queasy. But I do kind of regret eating before streaming, and I feel like I might get sick. So we'll see what happens. Our vehicle is in good enough shape that we can take this in, like, as our base as we move forward. We can just load this thing up. It is going to take a little bit of micromanagement here to get this set up. The only thing we're really missing, I would like a vehicle welding rig, and I would like a vehicle forge would be nice, but what are you going to do? I meant you should be used to it returning over and over like it's not a surprise. Yeah, that is definitely something you do expect it, and it's like, well, what are you going to do, you know? So unfortunately we're going to have to set up some zones. Let's delete all these zones. How do I do that? Remove. Remove the zones and replace them with one big unsorted zone. Unsorted. Now normally I would put, like, stow boards in here so that I could use the exterior of the vehicle as well for storage. I suppose we could throw one or two on just so I have some extra place to put, like, I don't know, some garbage like the clothing and stuff that's not really important. Let's do that really quick. Oh, except I don't have my welder and things. Let's not do that. Let's just sort our stuff. A baseball bat. And then this also, there's stuff from our car laying around here somewhere. Here it is. So we'll drag this inside so that this gets sorted as well. How big did I make the zone? Good, I hit everything. So let's just make some zones here. Let's add an unsorted zone at the rear. So this is going to be boring. I know people don't like watching this. Yes. We're going to put food. Except food doesn't sort right anyway. We'll put food all the way up front. And we'll add drinks over here so that they're separate enough that their lists don't overlap. Put perishable drinks over there as well. Yes, and perishable food as well. A little bit of micromanagement. Hello, murder. And then linked my YouTube channel. Yes, hello, C Black. Welcome to the chat. Oh, drugs. I'm looking for drugs. Not for... I always look for med or like medical or something like that, but it's drugs. You put mutagen on the drugs pile as well. We're gonna need one for guns and ammo. Just put that like in the back corner as well. Yes. And ammo, back corner. Yes. Mods as well, and magazines on that pile as well. Usually by the time I really get to looting, this becomes so big that it overflows one tile, but we'll get there when we get there. Mods, yes, and we'll even put melee weapons there as well so that things are nice and easy. So let's save this and just sort things for now, and then we'll have a look at what's left over and see what we missed. Oh, yes, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Once again, I have my viewership hidden because I don't really want to be reminded of how many people there are in chat, but sometimes you think about it, sometimes you wonder. Trying not to wonder, trying to just go through and I feel like looking at your viewer count actually hurts your stream. I feel like you should be kind of putting on the show no matter what, no matter how many viewers you have. But I do find myself wondering. But again, ultimately, I think it's not in my best interest to look. So put spare parts in the middle, kind of where we'll be standing to craft. Books we need as well. We can put books with... No, books get their own tile. And usually I put something else with books. What do I usually put with books? Bionics, maybe? I think. We'll put bionics there as well. Save changes, sort our loot. And we'll take another look. I see we still didn't mark a place for... Oh, actually, stop. We have so many duplicate books, they're going to end up in the vehicle. And many of them are not things I actually want. So let's take out all of the novels, because we don't want those. Use advanced inventory. Move to your feet, and we'll take all the novels out. That way we're not taking garbage magazines and stuff with us. In fact, all these grayed out things... Actually, I don't know about the grayed out ones. I'm not sure why they're gray, so we're going to keep those. We're just going to get rid of the novels that you just read for fun. Drama novel. We were going to sell these to the hub, but the hub is not updating properly, so kind of holding off on that. We'll leave those here. Fire when you see my eyes. I wonder what that means. Like the whites of their eyes, like that old famous quote, don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes? Maybe? What's going on in chat? Agreed, was talking to Turkey Bacon about this, had 3 larger Twitchers in the chat idling, kind of made a little bit nervous. Imagine still using DDR2 RAM. I don't know anything about RAM. I don't know anything about any kind of hardware, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Or why that came to your mind. I guess did I have some laying around here in the game or something? Get rid of these novels. I don't know anything about computer hardware. It's one of the places where I wish I knew more. Because a lot of streamers and stuff build their own computers for cheaper. I really wish I knew how to do that, but alas, I don't. So let's haul these books out of here so they're not getting sorted because these are garbage. Let's put them somewhere visible. That way if we come back and we're like, oh, where's some stuff we can sell? We'll see that we have some books. No, you just joined and for some reason it came to your mind. Okay. Cool, cool. See, I hear the phrase DDR, and I think of Dance Dance Revolution because that's the thing that existed. I was just looking at DDR mats online because I thought it would be fun for my niece. I forget why it even came up. I had seen something about DDR somewhere, and I was like, you know, I used to have mats. I really was into DDR a little bit. I had like on my PlayStation a long time ago. I had a bunch of DDR stuff. And I was like, you know, I wonder if that still exists. So I gave it a Google, and sure enough, it does. There are still dance mats for sale online, and there are still there are free games on your computer, like Step something that is basically just DDR. I was like, you know, I bet my niece would like that. She likes to be loud and obnoxious, so of course she would. It's interesting that it didn't sort any of these food items. Did I not include them? I did. So this is just a product of it not sorting food still. Someone told me this was fixed and that they now sorted food properly. That's clearly not the case. Okay, it didn't sort. Why didn't you sort these, but you sorted the other food I had? Okay. Because if we go to our vehicle, we had other food that got sorted. What got sorted? Like the exact same kinds of things got sorted. So why did it skip like MREs and things? MREs might not be flagged as food because they're not food. I mean, it says their category is food, but they don't actually contain food items. They have to be disassembled, which generates those items. So, I don't know. But we'll just pick those up and take those with us. Of course, we're not going to leave a bunch of MREs behind. And hopefully on our way over there, we'll be able to stop at a farm somewhere and murder a bunch of animals and fill our freezer again. That would be really nice. Just drop that. I really do want a stowboard in here to just throw my clothes on the exterior of the vehicle. I think, where's my tools pile? Nope. Tools? Nope. Tools? Yes. So give me the welder. And what else would I need for that? Probably just the welder. Oh, no, and a hacksaw probably. Hacksaw. And we will pop inside to grab our PBA. We should be able to weld. What's our battery look like? 2850. So let's rip off some of these sides here and replace them with stow boards. I don't really care which one. I just need a place to pull up my clothes without getting too much in the way. Oh, we got a lot of things here that I didn't read. Some developers like me enjoy lurking too. Hello, Wap Caplet. Welcome back to the stream. CDR makes me think of East and West Germany. Is that East or West? I have no idea what you're talking about. I never find time to play the game these days. Got to do it vicariously. I mean, as long honestly, you're padding my numbers, and it's hard to fault you for that. At least, I like when the devs show up because I interact with some of you in Discord, and I know it's weirdly one-sided. Like, obviously, you can hear my voice and interact much more. It's very different for me than it is for you, but yeah, I like talking to the devs. It's East. Thank you for deving. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for deving. Trying to think about what WAP Caplet contributed recently, and I feel like there was something big, and I can't remember what it was. I honestly mix up who does what work all the time, because you read the PRs and stuff, and you just glance over the names and forget who does what. Okay, so these are no, I need a stow board. What do I need for the stow board? Sheet metal. Well, I just took some of that off. It's just out of range now. Let's haul this to the other side. I usually like to have a tile for car parts as well, but because we didn't extend the rear of the vehicle, we don't have as many tiles to play with as I normally would. Let's put stow boards on. Stow board. Yes, straight stow boards. And we'll throw our clothes in here. I don't mind having them on the exterior. Even if these tiles were to get destroyed, the clothing is like the least valuable thing that I'm going to be taking with me. We do have some Kevlar vests. I was thinking about doing that before we leave as well. Especially since we're going to a lab where there are going to be turrets most likely. Oh, I see we're tired and everything as well. So we're not going to be leaving right just yet. Okay, so time has come. First of all, let me look at the Kevlar vest, make sure it's in good condition. Kevlar. No results. Well, that's incorrect. Kevlar. So we do have... Oh, it's clean as well. I thought we had a dirty one. So we have a clean Kevlar vest. Protection is 6/9/15. Okay? Pretty good. What is the plate armor? Plate armor is going to be better protection, bash, and whatnot, but probably not ballistic. 16/16/10. Man, that's so much better on the bash and cut protection. So what I wanted to do was take apart the plate armor, which will give us... Where is it? a cuirass, steel arm guards, and steel leg guards. So what I want to do is take this apart, put on the Kevlar vest as our torso protection, and wear the arm guards and leg guards, but stop wearing the full plate chest piece because that's a pretty significant encumbrance on our torso. Where's the encumbrance? Poor fit when full. Oh, it doesn't have storage. Okay, so it's 20 encumbrance on our torso, whereas the Kevlar vest is 5 encumbrance on our torso. And if you don't know, torso encumbrance correlates basically as a 1-to-1. So, like, that's 15 points we're saving, which is like a 15% increase on how frequently we're going to hit in melee. It's not hugely important, especially once we shift to using guns. But for now, I would like to swap. It is much less bash and cut protection, but anyway, history is for nerds. I have no idea what it looks like. It's not a sickle. Cat food. Been on hold for almost 3 hours. Can't get stuff done. Sorry to hear that. I have a phone appointment tomorrow, and I hope it goes smoothly. Remember to save once in a while. I use it on stream. Yeah, Altica. Many new cats coming to Altica tile set soon. Yeah, I saw Irk said that Altica's going to be leaving beta. So I thought we would check it out on this stream, but then I thought, like, we're going to the lab. It'd be nice to not have to constantly stop and be like, what's this enemy? What's that enemy? I think next time I start a new character, we're going to swap to Altica and see how broken it is. And if it looks pretty good, we're going to stick with it. And yes, C Black uses Altica. Altica's resource intensive for your PC. I think, I mean, RAM, right? I think that the only thing tile sets really use up is memory, right? I don't think that they're like much more than that. And I honestly, I don't know what the requirements would be. I can't imagine it would be that difficult for your computer to handle, but I guess I don't know, and you would know better than I would. Tile sets should use VRAM. Okay. And I have 256 megs of VRAM. Okay. I have no idea what my capabilities are. I don't think I've played with Altica. Let's save here, and why don't we turn on Altica and see what we can see here. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Last time I saw it, I have not checked it in a long time. It was very broken. We're looking for Altica beta. Yes. And exit, save, yes. Let's see what, oh lord, it's so different. Looks pretty good though. I don't see very many broken tiles, which is better than I sort of expected. We are seeing some broken tiles. Looks like gasoline doesn't have a sprite. This would be probably the camera or the USB. What is this? Probably withered plants don't have a tile here, so if we pick those up. Oh no, that's the basketball. Basketball doesn't have a tile? Okay. More broken tiles than I sort of expected. I mean, not really. Not as many as I sort of expected, but like the items themselves are more broken than I thought. When I looked at this previously, it was mostly the terrain that didn't have tiles. So I'm surprised to see how many of them do. But the items seem to be the things that are missing. Yeah, quite a few ASCII symbols. I don't know. I don't like the idea of transitioning to a new tile set. I don't like, we've talked about this before, I don't like, what build is this? It's whatever build current is. I updated literally moments before I went live. When I think about changing tile sets, so when I started playing on Chest Hole, which was years ago. Then Undead People or Dead People or whatever it was called at the time came along. It was a much more complete tile set. Chest Hole was missing more and more tiles. Anytime something new came to the game, there was no tile for it, which I think is why they implemented, was it Mark put in, looks like, which was really helpful. for saving tiles that were otherwise broken. But I had to transition to a new tile set, and it wasn't great, and I didn't enjoy it very much. And now Altica's come along. I like the look of Altica mostly. I don't like the vehicles. They look a little minimal for me. Particularly the cargo spaces. I don't like that they're just gray squares. But I think it's really promising, and I think most of the stuff looks pretty cool, and I'm interested in changing. So I'm not going to go into like the drama, but like the guy who runs Undead People is not a very nice dude, and I don't really like that. I don't like supporting that person. So I've always wanted to change to a different tile set. It's just that, unfortunately, Undead People is like the most complete, and it looks really good. So for today, we're going to go back to the Undead People tile set. We'll check out Altica a little bit more in the future, but for now, we're going to go back to what is familiar. I can't tell you, as soon as it shifted, my brain was like, oh, everything makes sense again. Okay, so do I want to swap to the Kevlar vest? I think I do. It's probably not in our best interest. It's probably better to wear the plate armor for protection, but I don't really like the idea of being in full plate armor all the time. Oh no, and now I'm going to have to change the names of my streams because we can't be the plate armor clad delivery boy anymore. So the cuirass does have the same protection values. All of them do, as what they were before. It looks like their encumbrance and everything is the same as well. I don't really care about the arm and leg being encumbered. It does affect our stats. Our arm encumbrance in particular can cause some problems with using ranged attacks, but I think that the protection is like all we really have. We could make chitin arm guards if we have the skill for it, which we do. They have a lower encumbrance. Their encumbrance is only 10, which is half the encumbrance of the steel, but you'll see the protection values are significantly lower. We require an all. That's new. I don't think I've seen a tool with all. So the all is not the item we need, it's the quality we need. Well, that should be on basically everything that's like, stiletto-y. Presumably we can go quality all. No, it's exclusive to all items, it looks like. But thankfully we can make one pretty easily from bone. And it looks like it's just one tool quality. It doesn't look like there are various tool qualities. To all. There is various. Okay, so what all quality do I need for chitin? I think I would rather make the chitin arm guards. Just one. So we can do this out of a bone. There's got to be an animal around here somewhere I can get a bone from. It really bothers me when stuff like that has... In fact, there's a fox right there. It bothers me when things like that can't be made out of tainted bone. All. Bone sewing kit. It can be made out of human bone or regular bone. Why can't that be made out of tainted bone? It's not something that would be... Like, are tainted bones somehow less bone-like than other bones? I don't understand that. It's funny, this thing is pretty nice, but mostly playing DDA, but work from it, and that's the main reason. Yeah, my computer is okay at the moment. I bought like a mid-range computer I don't know, a year ago at this point, or 8 months ago or something. Need to upgrade again. Streaming is very intensive, and I definitely don't have the computer for it, but I do have a good graphics card in this thing. I just never really can use it on stream, because I can't stream and do most things. You can play while using chest hole with like 20 FPS or so, maybe a little bit less. That's the beauty of Cataclysm, is that the frame rate is whatever you want it to be. Like right now I have a 0 frame rate. If I move over a frame, look at that, I had 1 FPS, and it's like pretty controllable. It's one of the reasons I stream CDDA, is that my recording setup is terrible. So like even if I drop frames, most people don't know that, because you only see 1 to 3 frames a second most of the time. pretty good for that. Using ASCII is slightly higher. Always depends on stuff like world size and so on. Yes, of course, that would have a huge impact on it. And like your proximity to NPCs and that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's make an all so that I'm not just standing around. Dispose. You can't even stream. Yeah, I mean, streaming is. I tried streaming before from my. I used to have a pretty basic desktop, like office PC. Even streaming Cataclysm had dropped frames and stuff. I had to buy an external capture card and record to micro SD and that kind of stuff. Got a fund set aside for murder. You shouldn't. You should spend that money on your family and do normal life things with that money. Over time, you can give me a little bit. I'll be honest, even once I start the business, I'd be real uncomfortable if you were giving me money all the time. I know you talk about it like a lot, and I don't really know what your level of investment is, but like thinking about it makes me a little uncomfortable. Like a daily between button presses. A delay between button presses. Yeah, eating inputs is not fun. Still runs better than Dwarf Fortress. Well, Dwarf Fortress is pretty. If I remember right, they load a lot more stuff at once than Cataclysm. Like Cataclysm, we're pretty limited on our like reality bubble and stuff to keep things manageable. I think Dwarf Fortress is just like if it's on the screen, it's happening, right? Like, and that includes multiple Z levels and stuff like that. So I imagine that would be more intensive. We have the all. Let's make some chitin. It may have put our chitin in the vehicle already. Endo chitin? No, I'm looking for regular chitin, I think. That would be on the spare parts. Looking for chitin. It's weird that it sorted some of the chitin in here, but not the rest of it. Because this is full. That makes sense. Oh, that may also be why it didn't sort all of our food in here. Because our food might be full. It is. So I bet I dropped some of these on the ground. I did. That's why it didn't sort our food. So it looks like that is fixed, which is good news. And it also looks like we might need some more stow boards to make these things fit in our vehicle. So that's not great. Let's drop the food here. I wish I'd known that. I didn't realize I had so much stuff. Hopefully I didn't drop the food directly on the floor. Reality Bubble in Dwarf Fortress is like your fort and the multiple 100 Z layers it contains. Plus some background stuff like armies moving and such, I see. Not all the time, just want to contribute. I'm no rich man, but I manage. Yeah, it's just my own mental hurdles make me feel like everyone should be... I don't know, I'm pretty stingy with my money. And so when people aren't, it always makes me a bit unsettled because it makes me question. I don't know, and I've heard other streamers talk about it, like where they'll get like 10 gift subs or something like that from someone. And in reality, you know, the streamer gets like $25. It's not a ton of money or anything. But like, I've heard other streamers talk and be like, yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to say when people give me a $20 tip. I don't know what to say when people, you know, shell out 5 gift subs or whatever. It makes me feel nervous. And I haven't even had that happen to me yet, and I can already tell, like, that's going to be something I'm going to have a hard time. Because, like, on the one hand, you're like, well, I really could use the money. But on the other hand, you're like, what if people feel obligated to do this? Or what if people say, like are they doing this? Like, I don't know. I'm just, yes, you say thanks, of course. But, like, I don't know. It's a complicated thing. Or it's complicated for me. I don't know. Maybe other people don't see it that way, but... Wouldn't you be nervous? See, Black, you just had a really big, like, enormous tip given to you, right? Were you not uncomfortable with that? Yeah, someone dropped $2.25 on you. That's an enormous amount of money. I would feel super weird about that. Like, dude, that's your, like, some of your rent money, or, like... You could have put that into... That's like a whole month worth of food for people. Like... And I get like some people are better off than others. Like I know that I have a tainted worldview because I've been poor my entire life, but like to me that's a lot of money. And yeah, I don't know. I'd feel real weird about that personally. Not that I'm not trying to tell you you should feel bad or something, but like I would feel really weird about it.